Hey y'all, Richard Edens here, CARRYOLODY gear reporter and video maker, photographer. I'm currently down here in Mexico City. I'm with Taylor, who's traveling with only what's in his pockets. That's sort of the nature of the video we're working on. In contrast to that ultra minimal travel style, I had to bring a good bit of stuff along to make the video possible, so I wanted to just run down kind of what I brought and what I'm working with here. So let's get into it. A bit of context here, I was trying to just travel with what I could carry on, which would be the Matador Globe Rider 35 and this EDX Messenger here. But after reading a couple Reddit threads, I saw some notes about people having trouble getting a tripod onto a carry-on back into the States from Mexico. And I've had a couple run-ins with security at Mexican airports before. So I decided to bring a rolling piece of luggage. This is the only size I had available to me that would fit a light stand properly. This provided a bit of freedom when it came to packing because I didn't have to really minimize what I was gonna bring, thus potentially sacrificing the type of video we were able to make. So with this, I was able to bring lighting, I was able to bring some light stands, the Peak Design tripod I mentioned, a little bit of extra clothes, patches for the meetup we're doing tonight, and just a couple other knickknacks that made me feel more kind of secure about making this video happen. So I'm not gonna go through all those items, but just know there was a suitcase involved, and it did help me have a good peace of mind when coming down here to make this video. So this was my sort of carry-on setup here. This is the EDX Messenger that Matador and CARRYOLODY did. I recently filmed the Maker's Mystery Box video with Sam and Matador, and after watching him work, I'm kind of like, anything he or Matador touches is gold. What makes this nice is for security, when you open it up, it is zippered, and there's also a small zipper pocket on the front. On the front pocket, I just had a wallet, a pen, and some coins, essentially. In the main area when traveling, and stuff is a little bit different than it was, but this is a general idea. This is a D-made stubby dock, and it's got big, ginormous Anchor 140 watt charger here. What this provides is 3 USB ports and 1 USB-A port. There's a lot of things I have to charge every day, so this allows me to get a lot of juice into multiple devices at once. Also in here are a couple USB-C cables, and then a little plastic bag with adapters and a USB flash drive, just in case I need to give files to someone or put them somewhere. I don't know, it's nice to have. We got this Bose mini SoundLink speaker. I can't live without music. I'm hoping to do a review on multiple of these soon because I love this one, but it uses an outdated USB port, so I want to find a new one that's as good, but I don't have to have that extra adapter for all the time. Up next, we got another Bose product. These are some older noise canceling wired earbuds. The reason I need a wire is to be able to monitor the audio that we're recording. I don't want to miss any mistakes in the audio as I'm going along, so having these is a great option. And also it's good on the airplane because the noise canceling is great, and if one falls out of your ear, you don't have to search around the seat for it. So yay for wires sometimes. Look, he's got money. Pesos. Pesos. Next up, I have a Anker Fusion power bank that has the charger built in. It's similar to the one Taylor is using, but double the amount of capacity. This will allow me to charge the microphones as we're moving along, allow me to charge the phone while I'm traveling, and just multi-use. Obviously, it has the cable built in, so this is just a really nice thing to have. Attached to it, I have another USB-C to USB-A adapter. These are always, I feel like they're cheap enough to just have them around everywhere. And sometimes when you're on an airplane, people can't plug their phone in, and you can be the nice, friendly neighbor and provide this to them so they can charge their phone if they need to. Next up, got another D-made stubby dop here with, this is just kind of like my bring everywhere kit. It's like my base level of carry other than what I keep in my pockets. Easy to transfer from bag to bag. I got this little pouch from Enjoy Your Life in Japan. Essentially, it's like a mini comfort slash first aid kit. Ouch pouch barely. It's got a couple Band-Aids, some gum, some triple antibiotic ointment, a little bag of medicine that I sometimes need, Advil, Nexium for heartburn, Benadryl for bad allergies, and Claritin for mediocre allergies. Small Anker power bank that's 5K that'll charge the phone wirelessly if I really need it. Works better with a cable though. Regular pen, got a small Streamlight flashlight, and then a really small Sharpie with some gaff tape wrapped around it in case I need to tape something up in a pinch. That's it for that have it all kit. Also, I got an RX bar in here in case I need some calories. A second set of AirPods because One, what is it saying? One is none and two is one?
2 1 was
Two is one is none. The last thing in here is not a sleek piece of travel kit, but it's something I always have with me because I hate trying to fit cables behind hotel beds, Airbnb beds. I hate not having enough power outlets. That big anchor charger, if the outlet's not great, it just falls out of the wall. So this is a 1 foot extension cable that has a 360-degree rotating prongs on it. It's also flat, so it'll fit behind a hotel bed. It'll fit in a smaller space than an outlet that goes out. And then on the other side of it, it has three-pronged outlets. So if you're charging camera gear, or if you have a bunch of stuff that needs to be plugged in, or maybe you're traveling, I don't know, with kids that have iPads and you need the extra outlets, I love these things. I think they're great. They're a little goofy in a bag and they're not as sleek as some of the travel design specific products, but it's kind of foolproof. So I always have one of these. And then the name of the game in this bag clearly seems to be power. This is an older giant 26,800 milliamp hour Anchor battery bank. I was worried about having to charge things up on the go, and this will power a laptop if needed. So that's it for the Messenger. This is sort of what I was carrying while traveling. While we've been filming, it's been more extra lens, filters for the lenses, the power banks that I mentioned, and a couple other more camera-oriented knickknacks, but you get the picture. Okay, next up is the newly released Matador Globe Rider 35. Like I said, I filmed that Maker's Mystery Box video with Sam, and I came to the realization that anything that guy touches or has the Matador brand name on it is probably wonderful, so I was excited to be able to use this pack. Not a dedicated camera bag. I'm not too stoked on dedicated camera bags all the time. I think they're a little too prescriptive, and sometimes you lose space to the amount of padding that has to be in there. Anyways, let's dig into this. On the front is this stretch kind of mesh pocket. I had in here this Unbound Merino sweater. Unbound Merino sponsored the full No Pockets travel video, so they sent me a couple pieces. The pants here are the travel pants, which I love. But this sweater was the real standout as far as what they sent me. I'm generally more of a sweatshirt guy. I've kind of steered away from sweaters because I'm weird with textures and worried about being itchy. But this has all the magical properties of merino. So it's temperature regulating. It's good in variable temperatures. Like I didn't get too hot in it, and I didn't get, obviously didn't get cold because it's a sweater, but it's breathable. You can wear it a good bit longer than you could a regular cotton sweatshirt, and it looks a little bit nicer when you're traveling around. So I haven't felt out of place yet or underdressed. Not that we've been going to fancy restaurants, but I can feel comfortable knowing that I can pretty much go into any space with this type of sweater on and be good. On the top of the bag here, there is a small admin panel. You wouldn't believe it, I have another power bank in here. This is another older one. I kind of just threw everything I had at this trip. I wanted to have one in every bag just in case. And again, it's got gaff tape wrapped around it in case I need it in an emergency. We got hard drive number 1 here for backing stuff up. And there's 2 larger zipper pockets up top. And this one, I have the DJI mic case. This is just a 1 transmitter case. It's not the like charging blocky case. It's a little flatter. It packs a little better in my opinion. It doesn't charge the products when you're not using them, so that's the downfall there. But just a nice simple case where I have the extra cables and adapters in here. And then I can put the transmitter and receiver when I'm traveling and not using the microphones. And zip pocket number 2 is another Samsung hard drive, another 2 terabyte. Here's the inside of the Globe Rider 35. Up first is the DJI RS4 Mini. This is a gimbal for the camera. Newly released, and it has been critical for this shoot. I've used it a lot. It's nice and packable. It's not quite as sturdy as the Pro models, but for this, it's been perfect. They also have this new tracking module, which allows me to essentially focus the gimbal onto Taylor as I'm walking and then kind of hold the gimbal over my shoulder. I can have faith that it's gonna stay locked onto him and move as needed. And then I can walk forward while not having to walk backwards and potentially trip over something or run into someone. So in a busy city where we're on the go, this tracking module feature has been pretty sweet. It's really shocking what DJI is able to do. I mean, with the microphones, of course, but with this small of a package for a gimbal, it's been wonderful. Toiletries in a Matador toiletry case here. I'm on the Matador train currently. Hippy Dippy salt deodorant here, nice and packable. A bunch of Q-tips because I'm weird like that. A Philips travel electric toothbrush, toothpaste in the Matador travel toothpaste container, and then a little rack of Matador flat packs that have hair stuff, body wash, and wool soap for cleaning the Unbound Merino clothes. You can see here on sort of the top flap of this Globe Rider, there are a few more mesh pockets. And here I have my car keys. And then instead of using an extra packing cube, I just have underwear in here from Unbound and some socks in the bottom down here from Unbound as well. Using these pockets on the Globe Rider instead of packing cubes allowed the real estate that the socks and underwear were taking up to be a little flatter, which I found valuable in this occasion. Here is a camera cube from Green Room 36. The main thing that's in here is the camera that's shooting this video. So imagine that's in here as well. I tried to maximize the space in this thing, so I added a couple other pieces in here. A Polar Pro card carrier. I have a card reader from Delkin Devices. I have another Samsung hard drive. This is a T7 4 terabyte. This is kind of the main backup drive that I'm keeping really close by ever since we got here. This is a fan from Small Rig that's designed to help the R5 not overheat. If you know about Canon cameras, you've probably heard that the R5 mirrorless camera has overheating issues. They worked on it with firmware updates, but it's not perfect. So Small Rig just released this, and I wanted to bring it just in case the slightly warmer weather down here causes some issues as far as the camera temperature. Additionally, I have a Aperture MC Pro. Brought this one in the camera cube just in case something happened with the luggage. I wanted to have one light that I know I would have access to, just in case the other lighting in the rolling suitcase got held up in baggage or lost on the layover or something like that. That's it for the camera cube. This is just a small pouch from Arch, and it's full of R5 batteries. There's 6 or 7 in here. I wanted to bring as many as possible with specific attention on these Small Rig batteries for the R5 that have a USB-C input, so you can charge them with cables instead of having to take up the charger. So this way I was able to charge up to 3 batteries at a time, making things much more efficient. Another yellow pouch here. This is from Tom Ben. This is sort of my creature of comfort pouch. Inside I have a candle in case the room is musty, which I swear to God, the plumbing in the bathroom in this room smells funky. So this has come in handy on this trip specifically. I also have another small EYL pouch. This triangle pouch has AAAs, AAs, and CR123s. I got some Gear Aid tape for fixing stuff. I have little athletic greens pouches. I have instant coffee in here. I have Alpha Brain. I have a bandana. I also have hydration salts and emergency packets for boosting that immune system while you travel. This is the benefit of bringing rolling luggage, is I had room for a candle and a bunch of stuff that I didn't need. These 2 pieces are for the gimbal. Small little tripod so I can rest it on the ground, and then an extra handle that allows me to shoot more comfortably. Knowing that I was gonna shoot with a gimbal, I wanted to bring a small compact prime lens, and luckily I was able to rent one from Lens Rentals that is the Canon 24mm RF blah 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 macro. It's not as small as a pancake lens, but it is macro, so I can get close on things, and it's not too wide to where everything's gonna be distorted, but wide enough to where I can get shots while we're riding in a car or a little more up close and personal. So this video would have been really troublesome if I only had the 24-105 that it's being shot on now. This 24 has been a lifesaver. And on top of it, I have a Freewell variable ND, shooting both inside and outside while here. And a lot of the days have been just bluebird days with not a cloud in the sky. Being able to control the exposure without having to boost the aperture a ton has been great. So this little setup with the VND and the 24mm from Canon has been quite a lifesaver on this trip. Last but not least, a packing cube full of enough clothes to get me through the trip in case the luggage was lost. With this, underwear, socks, and then the sweater from Unbound Merino, I would have been just fine. But luckily the luggage made it here, so I do have some extra stuff just in case. This is quite the contrast to traveling with just what's in your pockets. I have a tendency sometimes to overpack in general. I've been trying to get better about it, but since we're on sort of a mission-driven trip here as far as producing this video, I wanted to make sure I had exactly what I needed, and bringing that rolling suitcase allowed me the camera gear and just space to pack a few extra things so I would know I have what's required for the shoot. Before we go, aside with this lovely back panel that Matador designed being very comfortable, you can stow these backpack straps if you want to carry it like a duffel, but the real secret here is behind the back panel. There is an ultra secret little pocket where I kept passport. So having a nice secure pocket for your passport is always a plus. All right, that wraps things up. Like I said, we're still down here in Mexico City. We're still on a shoot. We got to go to a taco shop and meet a famous chef that's friends with Taylor. So I'm gonna hit the road. Hopefully this was informative on what you could pack to go to a shoot internationally. Maybe it's overkill, but I don't care. I feel prepared. So I'm gonna hit the road and hope you have a good one. Let me know if there's anything I should have brought or should have left behind. Maybe that question answers itself. Maybe I didn't need 4 power banks, but you know, Scout's honor. Be prepared. Take care. Bye-bye.
CARRYOLODY is proudly backed by our friends at Bellroy. To learn more, visit our About Us page, link in the description.